I love it. This is Jim showing off his brand new Firefly 335, I believe.
It's about how much it was.
And that is a pretty guitar.
I'm going to do like they do, like the musicians do when they're like Bruce Springsteen, when he's talking and playing it.
Oh, you're like, I got a little tale to tell you. Unfortunately, I got so many people sleeping. I can't bust out. I will show my guitars, but I can't play them tonight.
I walked on online to Amazon.
Yeah.
But that's not where I bought this. I remember I logged in and looked at the computer screen, closing all the porn windows carefully. And
Gotta
also
be careful with those.
Illegal identity theft ring. And I saw her. Firefly.
It is so funny. There is a whole community of guitarists that are obsessed with Fireflies, and particularly their 335. So when I saw you got one, I was like, huh. Because it has been one of those curiosities for like the last 4 years where I'm like, I wonder.
Two dirty secrets about this Firefly. And I know this is Josh's comic book stream, but
yeah.
You got to indulge Josh because he needs this for energy.
Yeah, and I am going to do a little show and tell, guys, to show you my upgrade of acoustic guitars, starting with my first $50 one, moving on to my, solid top, and then moving from there to my all solid wood.
For years, I've had this guitar.
That's a beaut.
And then I had my Mustang, and that's it. For years, and we're talking like 15 years. And then the only guitars I bought, electric guitars I bought, are the Fender Mustang, and then I bought a black 335.
Nice.
Right, like 5 years later, and I had that for about 5 years, and then I just sold it because it's like I don't know why I only wanted one guitar. I wanted an acoustic and an electric and a bass. That's it.
Well, back in the day, that's all you really needed, like
that really is all you need, period.
It really is. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, but I play primarily like for writing purposes, like writing songs and recording songs. Like and I'm not playing at the farmer's market, so
yeah,
I don't, not yet. But
Jim, you might be the person I need to bestow, because I have one too many tellies. It's a Squire, but it's really good. I set it up and everything. Wow. So I might have to give you that telly just so you can add that to your arrangement, because I feel like your tones are good, but you need a telly. You need a Telecaster.
Oh, let me show you something else too. I am playing on this.
Oh yeah, I love those.
Side flops, and it is the size of a toaster or smaller. Yeah, and it jams.
I have like a little oh my gosh. It's like a little plastic like practice amp too.
And this also has a built-in.
Does it have gain?
Drum machine. It has a built-in drum machine.
Are you kidding?
Listen.
You guys are getting a
speed it up.
Custom Jim Lujan concert.
Oh, check this out real quick, Josh. And then I'll stop messing.
I can't believe that for like a little. That's amazing. I love it. That's the one thing that's gonna be rough with a 335, because usually they have like ceramic pickups, and so they get crazy feedback.
Yeah.
But
if you order now,
that's so pretty.
You also get.
You can rock some slide. We do have to do a jam sesh on a stream. I think we got to do it.
Can we? I would love that.
That would be fun.
Here's another secret. Besides just writing, like I never learned to play music.
Yeah.
Or write music. I learned it through writing, like writing songs immediately.
Yeah, same here.
And then now I have to go back and go, what chord am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, that's an E.
Yeah. I don't actually know chords or notes too well.
That's why I love you.
Especially like when it comes to bar chords, I'm like, I just know there's like a dead chord and you need to skip up one. It's like,
I,
I don't know,
I can only do the solo like this.
Yep, that's about my solo abilities right there.
And actually, I think my guitar playing, because when I first started playing any kind of instrument, it was with the ears of a bass player.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think my guitar playing is heavily influenced by bass playing.
Got it.
I play chords and stuff, but like I always play the
bass notes. Yeah. I love that.
But
that's amazing.
But yeah, so I can sit here for hours and just make up songs. And actually, the phone is your best friend to recording little sessions. Tomorrow night, I'm going over my good friend Neesum's house, and we're gonna make some music. The cool thing about playing music with Neesum, he's a singer. He doesn't play anything, so the cool thing about that is it's always towards a goal, like
yeah,
jam and have fun, but then later on that'll end up in a film or it'll end up in something.
Yeah, I get that. Like my friend Josh, who I play with all the time, who's actually just me. You guys, that's going to be the reveal later on. No, but he has a friend named Josh, and he lives like a block or two away, and we play almost every Sunday, and we've just been doing albums for fun. And you're right, having that goal of like tracking a song or completing a song is really fun because it's like, yeah, then you have like a reason, which I think for guys like us works better. It's hard to do things without a project. I don't know.
I love accidentally figuring out songs too. I went, wait a minute, why does it sound so familiar? And you realize, oh, it's Call Me by Blondie, or The Tide is High by Blondie, or Rapture by Blondie.
My problem is I'm never really remember covers. Like there's like 2 or 3 covers that I'll remember off the top of my head, you know? But yeah, I think it was like last year or something. I was just noodling around and I was like, boo doo boo, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's Yellow Ledbetter. Like, how did that? Like, anyhow, yeah.
Give me your 3 personal favorite guitar players. Let's just start naming some. Maybe not top 5. Let's just start naming.
Okay, some. I love it. Let's do Joey Santiago would probably be my favorite. He's the lead guitarist for the Pixies, and he played on a lot of Frank Black's solo albums. Mm-hmm. I think it might be because he plays a little more similar to the way I would. Like, I'm not like a shreddy guitarist, so I love the fact that he kind of loops his leads, which to me is really interesting.
Is he Filipino too?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's cool.
And then let's see. So that's probably my favorite lead guitarist. My favorite, I mean, you can't not like McCartney. He's great.
that's a bass player though.
Yeah, really. But like his solo, like acoustic stuff is really cool. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Lennon's great, but I think Harrison's a better guitarist. I like Harrison a lot. I like all the Beatles for everything. Harrison's solo stuff's great.
I'm gonna make you a T-shirt that says that. I like all the Beatles for everything.
Well, I mean, what's not to like? But let's see. I really dig. Let me see, for like rhythms and stuff like that. Oh, Elliott Smith, I think, is one of my favorite, like for just like acoustic-y stuff. I love his songwriting. Like, it's really finger picky and stuff, but I dig that. Dylan, as cliche as that is, just Dylan's great for everything guitar wise. He even gets pretty shreddy sometimes. But yeah, I love Dylan. I'm blanking out on the lead guitar. I wish I knew the name.
Guitarists in general, because like most of my favorites wouldn't be considered guitar heroes.
Yeah. A lot of them are like singer-songwriters.
Well, not even the guys like Ricky Wilson from the B-52s.
Yes, he's great.
One of my favorite all time. Martin Gore from Depeche Mode.
Oh
I think
yeah.
his guitar playing is awesome. I
You
mean, it's not that fancy, but it's just right.
So we went to see Death Cab for Cutie and
And Postal Service.
Postal Service, and Postal Service did a Depeche Mode cover, and I like thought of you.
Oh, really? Which song
Yeah,
was it? Enjoy the Silence or
yeah,
something?
of course. It was like, oh,
But my like
yeah,
guitarists,
they,
my favorites are, um, I mean, everybody loves Jimi Hendrix. It's like
yeah, Hendrix
on
is
another
smooth.
level.
Yeah,
But my personal favorite Keith Richards, because when I learned how to play bar chords and stuff, I realized I could do hammers, and it sounds a little Keith Richards. That's like
yeah. Richards is like a dirty player in a good way.
Yeah. And I found out he plays in an open G.
I always blink out on the lead guitarist from the Stooges, but like I
Yeah,
think
that
that
guy's good.
guy is the like just shreddy and amazing.
King of the messy guitar. I love that. The guy's
Yeah.
Johnny Thunders from New York Dolls. Same
Oh
way.
yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Of course,
I
there's
like Joe Strummer a lot. I like the Clash a lot. I think they're kind of brilliant
the
like
Jimmys.
pop. Yeah.
There's the Jimmys, Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix.
Jimmy
Jimmy Page is
Page.
like the most musical guitarist I've ever heard.
Okay, anyone out there who doesn't like Zeppelin is
Something wrong with you.
misinformed. Yeah. In high school, I'll admit, I used to hate the idea of Led Zeppelin because I hadn't heard them. And all the guys that were like super stoners had like Zeppelin shirts, but then they'd also be wearing like their Grateful Dead and Fish t-shirts. And I wasn't really into I listened to Grateful Dead. I was like, I'm not really digging this. And I just assumed Zeppelin must be that kind of band. And then it was like in my 20s when I finally really listened to Zeppelin, and my brain was blown. And I'm like, how did I not know this was like the most awesome thing ever?
Or if you didn't like Led Zeppelin, you were the father of a 13-year-old girl in the late 60s.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, they were a little dangerous. Yeah, Frank Black's a really good guitarist too, actually. I like his like weird licks. Like there's a song he wrote called Hey that has just this like weird hammer on. I still can't figure it out. Yeah. There's too many.
I'm not a big, like, I love guys who play solos are great.
Yeah.
But like I'm more
Jay Massis is great from Dinosaur Jr.
I'm a rhythm guitarist fan. That's another one of my favorites was Kurt Cobain.
Oh yeah, Cobain.
I like rhythm guitar. That's my favorite. That's why I'm like more of a Keith Richards or that type of a. Although he played weird kind of lead, but it wasn't really lead.
Yeah. I love BB King, as cliche as that is. BB King's great. There's something weird about the way he plays leads, where he'll play like two notes and just bend one of them, and it's not a hard move, but like no one plays it like he did. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. I got to see him live once, which was
I've been to his
fun.
restaurant.
Yeah. Actually, I saw him at BB King's, weirdly enough, because he used to play at the one in Studio City.
It'd be great if you told me this was like 2 weeks ago. This would be great.
Yeah. Well, it was his ghost. Actually, honestly, that would be an amazing cartoon, is the ghost of BB King playing a gig at BB King's.
So it's funny, playing electric for a little. When you play electric I know, at least with me, you play electric for a little while, you get and then you pick up an acoustic. Yeah. It's like jumping on a hot day in a cold pool, because it's so like everything that electric doesn't offer that acoustic offers feels so good.
Yeah.
Then you play acoustic for a while and you pick up an electric and you're like, oh, this is like the.
Well, the great thing about an electric too is it's so much easier on your fingers, and you have way more fret access generally. So it's like it does feel freeing making that switch from an acoustic to an electric, because like. And then I was kind of surprised because I didn't know this, because I've been a Fender guy my whole life. And when I finally kind of got some like a Les Paul and an SG, playing that 24 frets where you're like, it's really easy to go up on the neck. I was like, oh, that's what that is. Like, which I guess you'd get on like a 335 or something, where it's like you have much more range on the neck.
I like playing right here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
a whole song like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the whole song, just those two strings.
And you usually do it like this, without the pick. Just yeah, exactly. You guys,
Just
Mr.
pretty much Van
Mr.
Halen.
Lujan. Yeah.
Eric,
I'm kind of surprised you don't have that like tuning lock thing. What is that called? Like the
capo?
No, the crazy 80s thing that had like the auto, like it was like,
oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's got like a giant thing at the bottom. I never know the name of that because that's like a shreddy thing to do.
I've never played with a capo. Have you?
Oh, I play with capos all the time.
What's the purpose of playing with a capo?
I wish I could show you, but everyone's sleeping. You put a capo and it kind of like heightens the. You actually should mess with that, especially on an acoustic.
By the way, that's another great slogan for you. I wish I could show you, but everyone's sleeping.
Yeah, I wish
this
I
is
could
my new
show
song.
You,
I wish I could show you, but everyone's sleeping.
That's like the reverse of Paul Pates, which is I need to show you, everyone's sleeping.
but what does it do for you though? I mean, if you had to put it in words, the capo.
It like brightens the tone. It basically makes like where the nut is on the guitar, like it brings it up higher, so it makes it closer to like a more I don't know the proper term, but like a soprano version of your instrument. Yeah. So it like raises the tone. So if you listen to like a lot of folk is played like with a capo on the 3rd fret, just a ton of folk like Dylan, like half of Dylan's songs. A lot of like if you ever listen to like Conor Oberst, like Bright Eyes, he uses a capo all the time. Death Cab,
I see that a lot.
Yeah, Death Cab uses it too, but it's like it just gets like a brighter tone, so it's kind of cool. You can get an almost like ukulele tone with it. I love capo. Yeah. Not on electric though. I've never really been in a capo on an electric type guy. Honestly, a capo on a 335 might sound real nice because that's like the 335's got that like weird kind of jazzy, like I
it's for the whole idea for me getting this was it something that's different from the
that's the reason to get a guitar. It's totally, I don't understand those guys that buy the same. Well, then again, I own a lot of Tellys, but it's like I don't quite understand if you have one good one, why do you need another of the same instrument, you know?
You could carry a bongo player and a singer could carry a whole concert.
Oh yeah.
It's a real full guitar. That's what I like about it too.
Those are real pretty. And honestly, you could do like solo jazz with that kind of thing. That is such you got to show that off on camera just so people can see.
Ooh. Oh, by the way, another dirty secret about this guitar is it's a used guitar.
Yeah. Nice. Reverb?
Yeah, I guess. It's a used.
Nice. Yeah, those Fireflies are unbelievable. Like it's like a budget guitar, and again, I've rarely heard of somebody getting one that they hated. So if you were out there and you pick one up and you hate it, send hate mail to Jim Lujan because he said they're all amazing.
This and the Cyclops amp together were under $400.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And keep in mind, like I wish I still had my first guitar. It was literally like a piece of plywood ordered from Sears catalog called a Synsonics. And and it was literally just plywood. And I think the board was just plywood that they had spray painted black to look like to look like rosewood or something. And that thing was it had plastic tuners, but not like the cool retro ones, like the ones that like broke off from the metal. So you're tuning, but it's just the peg won't move. Yeah. And now for like, a couple $100, you can get a decent guitar, Yeah.
Can you hear the band? Tap your feet.
I love it. Start playing some specials. Actually, honestly, the way you're doing the offbeat, it sounds more kind of like oh my gosh, I'm blanking out on the band Go-Go Bordello kind of vibe.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Here, I put some reverb on
it. Actually, Jim, have you done like a Go-Go Bordello type?
No, Chris was telling me about that.
You gotta rock that for your
Bretvian. I'll do a Bretvian version.
Yeah. Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Bretvia.
Rasta.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll show the guitars. I can't play them, but
that's all we need. That's all we're here for.
As one should have with a guitar in high school.
Revealing music. Loads
of stickers. And yes, that was a whole sticker. Their first album was great. Kurt Cobain was a great writer. So this is my first acoustic that I ever got. I can't show off my electrics because they're all in my room. But this is a Jasmine by Takamine, and it was a $50 guitar. You can probably still get these for like $50. Honestly, it's not a bad guitar.
You know what? I need to get one because we need to have an acoustic to keep at Neesum's house. You can get them for $50 on Amazon or what?
Probably Reverb, like used. Okay. You could probably get one of these because they're like it was like Takamine and their Squire basically.
All right.
This is like an old guitar, and honestly, it's held up. It doesn't. It sounds, it's like it's not. So the thing is, it's not solid wood. It's like that laminate, but it's a pretty good little starter, $50.
Ripped off because my Acoustics is Squire, and it was $150, and that was like 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's pretty
off.
That's not a rip off. That's like, yeah, I couldn't afford even a Fender acoustic back then, So that's my first one, and that was good, but like the tone is kind of limited and stuff. And you'll start noticing this. It's like I'm with an acoustic. If you get like a solid wood flat top, then you're up in your like projection and tone and range. So, let's see here. And guys, I will be working on comics at some point tonight, but I'm indulging because I literally got my my new acoustic shipped today. So I had to like let it sit so I didn't open it and like kill the guitar. So I had to let it sit for like 4 hours, which is hard to do. And then yeah. So these are great, by the way. Like if you need like a mid-budget guitar, you can get these brand new. This might sound expensive to some people, but for an acoustic, it's not bad. For like $500 or $600.
Wow.
And they're handmade in Canada. They're called Seagull. So
wait, is that the one you just ordered?
No, this is like this has been my baby for years.
You got 3 acoustics.
Yes, I have a guitar problem. So anyhow, this is a beautiful guitar. They make it with cedar, I believe, and then I think it's cherry wood on the back. But this is laminate here, and then this is solid top. So that's one solid piece of wood. These are beautiful guitars. And honestly, this served me really well. But for years, I have wanted a solid wood guitar, like all solid wood, because it just gets a different tone. And I wanted an acoustic electric, so there's that too.
Here comes the reveal.
It's coming. Is this interesting to anyone? I'm still amazed by that 335. The tone's real nice.
I like it. It's fun. I'll sit here for hours if possible and play it if I. But like I said, when I don't know with I don't draw for fun.
Yeah.
And I usually don't just play guitar for fun, except for this is brand new. So
yeah. I'm the same. I always do it with like a project based thing. If it's a new guitar, I kind of can't put it down for months, but
the guitar you just ordered, isn't it kind of reddish?
Yes. So let me pull that sucker out. Hold on.
This is Josh getting guitar music.
Okay, so there's a couple things about this. So back in the day, if you were going to try to get an all solid wood acoustic guitar, you're going to be dropping $2,000 to $3,000, no question. I don't know what's happened with entry level guitars. Epiphone's been doing these inspired by Gibson series where they're like following the specs of a Gibson like to the T with materials and everything, and they're unbelievable. And this is all solid wood, so it's like very comparable to like a Gibson Hummingbird. But a Gibson Hummingbird will run you like $4,000, and this will run you like 600 or 700 bucks.
$4,000. That's a tip I leave at lunch.
That's true. With Jim Lujan's net worth of millions. So we got an Epiphone case that's like nice and retro-y that I negotiated because I'm really like one of those weird, because I grew up poor, I'm like obsessed with deals. And so I will haggle with like different guitar stores till I get a really good deal, and then save ridiculous amount of money on. So if you ever need to get like a new guitar, and
was that online, that one?
What's up?
Was that online or at a store?
This was through Sweetwater, which is my favorite place to order through online.
Nice.
Yeah, Sweetwater's great because if you buy new guitars, they'll like set them up, and they have good salespeople. And I'm not endorsed by Sweetwater, but I think most musicians like that place where if you have to order a new one, but what you want to do is go through like a couple different bigger retailers and get like different quotes and get them all competing against each other. So this is beautiful, and I'm very excited about it.
Oh my god!
So you can get like a cheap Hummingbird that's not a bad guitar either, but it's just a solid top, and then the rest is laminate wood and stuff like that. And that version is all glossy and stuff. This one is like kind of retro, so it has this like almost like nitro finish.
That's a nice guitar. Wow.
Yeah, and then I have there's like a humidifier in there, so the wood stays nice. And then
I have a humidifier here too. Look.
I've never had to use a humidifier, but I was like, if I'm getting an all solid wood guitar, I guess I have to.
You put a blanket on that at night.
And then it has like these old school, tuners and stuff, so it's pretty cool. Yeah.
I keep my guitar in the gutter like a rock star.
I like it. But the neat thing about an all wood guitar, even that first one that's like $50, this is the trick of acoustics that a lot of people don't realize. They are not kidding. If you take okay care of it, these things just sound better every year. It's like I've never had that even that like little the Jasmine or whatever that's like a $50 guitar. It sounds so much better now than it ever did. It's weird. It's just like the wood gets old and then it gets this really cool tone.
I had a question and I've seen clips of you play. That is I so much want you to play it, but I know there's people asleep.
Yeah, it's pretty too, because so the neat thing is this is a different tone. So there is a reason to get this other than just, oh cool, another guitar. It's like Hummingbirds are actually like Keith Richards played one, Dylan played one, and stuff like that. And it's like they have a really bright tone, and so my Seagull's a little more in the mids, even though they're both dreadnoughts, and this is going to be a much brighter guitar.
Guitar, I haven't changed the strings ever. So it's
never broken a string on it?
It's got a dead eyes tone to it. I like. It's got a real it's not super bright.
No, it sounds real like moody.
The guitar itself is really good. Like the sound quality of it, and I've recorded everything. If you hear acoustic guitar on anything I've recorded, it's that one usually.
Nice. Yeah, everything I've recorded acoustic is usually on that Seagull, so it'll be interesting to hear this.
Yeah, that's well. If it's bright, it's going to show up really nice on recordings.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And then it also has like a Fishman pickup, so like if I ever do a live thing or something, I can plug in.
You know why I'm excited? Because this is show 333.
Exactly. I was going to ask, Jim, do you want to explain to people why you are on this episode?
Three is my favorite number, lucky number, and meaningful number, and 3 times 3 is 3 times, and it just sounds good.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, Jim has dibs. This goes for you too, Philip Chandler and Frank Salazar. Jim has a monopoly on triple episodes. I just want you guys to know that. So if you come upon a triple, you got to contact Mr. Lujan. Well, anyhow, so those are that's my beautiful new guitar. I can't wait to kind of play it. I'm probably going to noodle around on it on stream. But what's funny is the second Jim showed me the picture of the Firefly, I was like, it's funny because it was literally like 2 years ago. I was peeking at those things like, I can't believe that. Those are really cool. So that's neat. And you know what's fun too with those pickups? What's weird is like some guitars you wouldn't want like a ceramic pickup. Like a Strat with ceramic pickups that are like that, like microphonic, it would be a disaster. But a 335, it's almost like more authentic to have that. It just gives a better tone. And then the funny thing is you can do cool stuff like I saw Mike Watt a long time ago with a guitarist who had a 335, and he would take like a toy ray gun.
Yeah.
Jim, you can do this. And he put it next to the pickups and be like, pew, pew, and it would like feed back through the amp and make weird, really cool stuff. So if you're ever doing that feedbacky stuff, it's
my goal is to learn how to play like Roy Clark on this.
You should
Google him. But anyways,
you aren't gonna play like Fungus. I guess you'd need like some piano for that, huh?
I was recording full Fungus last night, music for it.
I love that, by the way, your jazz for that. And I feel like you're working on the most epic thing ever, because it's just everything you show, I'm like, how expansive is this? This looks like a big movie.
It is. Here, tell me if you can hear this. I'll give you a little sneak preview.
I love it.
Anyways, that was last night. I had a whole 7 guys in here recording. Had drums set up all in my kitchen, sax in the living room.
I absolutely do.
The garage, the whole thing.
That's so awesome. I have you tried yet to just play this for someone who's not in the know about your animation?
Oh, I did. I did.
Did they buy it?
They completely thought it was real jazz, but I can't read inside their head if they thought, oh, this is crappy, or if this is, but they thought it was real. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, you should start doing that.
I didn't play it. I didn't play it like, hey, listen to this. It was, I had it on.
Yeah.
And I go, is this John Coltrane? I don't. And they wouldn't know if it was John Coltrane or what, but
yeah,
they're like, no, I don't know who this is. I'm like, it's me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is something we gotta try to arrange. We need to do. I still think at some point we gotta like try to arrange like a wine tasting thing. That's because like usually that's a snobby event, but with the right people that can be really fun. And then what we'll do at every winery is play that music, like, because they have those like patio areas and stuff, and you can just be like, "This is wonderful."
I don't think that there's going to be a lot of jazz guitar. I'm not going to play a lot of jazz guitar on the full Fungus because that's hard.
Yeah,
very hard. And you can't with the sax and with piano.
Well, and that tempo of jazz, I don't think I could do.
Well, not only that, but it's you can play off notes, and there's like, oh, he's doing that on purpose. With guitar, you can't do that. It's like, oh, you suck.
Yeah, jazz guitarists are kind of unbelievable
because
they're scaling all over the place, and
you know what on this.
But I do feel like now you need to do like this is the thing. Do you make another cartoon, but the next one's about a legendary blues musician?
There you go. You know, it sounds really good on this. Really good is like bossa nova type. You know, like that whole like that. I can't even play it, but
the plucking,
everything I play sounds like country or something.
You know, I had the pleasure, and Jim, you'll get a kick out of this. My son was showing me something from a game he's into that had like a troll face. And I went like, troll, lo, lo, lo. And he's like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, you have not heard the troll, lo, lo song. So I got to play that for my son. He was cracking up. Just that whole, the troll, lo, lo song, which is kind of amazing. And that video to me feels like, Jim, you probably get tired of people saying this, but that video feels like a Jim Lujan cartoon. The guy's expression, the way he's delivering it.
I actually don't even. I've never seen the video.
Oh my goodness. Okay, can I share this? I wonder if I'll get a copyright strike. I don't even care. Well, this is worth it. This is internet history.
I was playing Psycho Killer earlier, so you'll probably get one. One of my other favorite guitarists too, I forgot to mention, is Nile Rodgers.
Nile Rodgers, nice.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And then there's Johnny Marr. You can't not like Johnny Marr.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh, Peter Buck is an amazing kind of more rhythmy guitarist too. I love that.
You know, the secret of REM to me is Bill Berry.
Yep.
No, not Bill Berry. I'm sorry.
Isn't Bill?
Mike Mills. Mike Mills.
Yeah. Because I thought Bill Berry was like the bassist.
Drummer.
Is it Mills? Okay, Mills is the drummer. Yeah.
No. Mike Mills is the bass player.
Oh, okay.
Also plays keyboard and guitar.
Got it.
But to me, he's the musical secret of that group. Like,
he's pretty incredible.
Yeah. And then Bill Berry was their drummer for years.
Nice. He retired recently, right? For like a farm or something.
Yeah. He had a brain tumor, and he retired recently in the 90s.
I guess like that's dates us. It's like, man, it's really recent that he retired. You know.
I can't. Can you tell I dye my hair, and I can't tell you dye your beard? So.
I got called. Okay, this was hilarious. So the other day, because I'm doing like substitute work and stuff, and I went to this campus, and somebody was like, "Yeah, I was describing you to somebody, saying like the guy with the gray hair and the beard," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm the guy with the gray hair and the beard." Because I have peppers, you know. So
I don't see any gray hair on you, Josh.
That's the cameras. Let's see.
Wait, are we using the Just for Men filter?
Yeah. Oh wait, let's use the smoothing. I forgot about that. There's like a smoothing filter.
Just for Men filter on the internet sounds like it'd be something else.
The Just for Men filter.
A whole different website.
Yeah, that's true. That's a popular site. Don't Google that online, kids. But men. Adults have fun. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I was gonna introduce you to the Trollolo song. You really haven't heard the Trollolo song? This is like internet history here. Okay. Jim, when you see this, hold on, I gotta pass the ad. Can you hear that?
No.
Okay. Trying to skip the ads so when I load it up, it'll be great.
Here's some ad skipping music.
Okay, here we go. And then I'm going to share it. Okay, let's see if we can do this. So present. I'm really bad at video sharing. How is everybody doing, by the way? I noticed that there's people watching. How are you guys doing?
Why are they watching this?
Because we're going to play the Trololo song to someone who's never heard it, which I sincerely can't believe, because this is like a straight up Jim Lujan cartoon. Okay, can you see the screen?
I can see the screen now.
Okay, here we go. I can see the screen. Okay, ready? Here it is. Trololo song. Can you hear it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a Russian singer.
This is AI.
It's from like the 60s. He was like a Russian singer. Edward Kill.
How many people did he murder?
Yeah. So anyhow, a lot of people liked it because it did sound like he was saying Trollolo, and he kind of looks like the internet troll face.
Wow.
And that was like I think like season 2 of Rick Rolling. So people used to do Rick Rolling, and then they'd do the Trollolo. But anyhow, his expression, it just seemed like, like the kind of like game show host or strange singers, that I think sometimes you like doing.
That does look like one of my cartoons.
But yeah, there you go.
I have a homework assignment for you too.
Oh, cool.
Hold on, let me find it here. Hold on.
That's the worst. It's the worst because it'll get stuck in your head.
I have a song that I saw. Okay, I have a song that I saw on MTV really late at night when I was probably 14 years old, and I was like, "What the heck? This is..." And I just remembered the chorus, and I could never find it until about 4 years ago, and then I found it, and I'm never letting it go. But I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Okay.
Hold on. Here, I'll put it in so everyone can see. But it's the weirdest song and the weirdest group. Hold on, can I do this? Can I do this?
By the way, that thing you sent me of Metallica was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Good. It's so good. Come on, thanks.
So, I think it was like a week ago or something. I'm like sitting down working, and Jim sends me a link, and it says, what was the link titled? It was like Metallica if they were good. And then it's like a thrashy cover of "Can You Take Me Higher?"
It's Metallica performing. It's really them performing, but it's somebody imitating them, and the voice is pretty good.
Yeah.
It sounds like James Hetfield, but he's singing Creed's "Take Me Higher." Can you take me higher? And it's like,
yeah, with the that Hatfield always does.
So
I pointed that out to a friend in high school who was like, when I was at early high school, was like right after the Black album came out. And
what did you say?
And he was just digging the heck out of the album. And I just pointed out to him that on every song on that album, every line he ends with "rah." And he was like, "No, he doesn't." And he played it, and he couldn't find a line where he doesn't go "do-wah," because there's the "wah" at the end, and it kind of ruined Metallica for him for a year or two.
So the song I sent you is called Charlton Heston. It's by a group called Stump.
Charlton Heston.
It's a bizarre song. I just remember watching it as a kid. When I was watching it as a kid, I remember it. The chorus went, "And Charlton Heston put his vest on." It's like, and Charlton Heston put his vest on.
Oh my gosh. Charlton Heston put his vest on?
It's the best line of a song.
Oh my gosh. Who did that?
Stump. The group Stump. Never heard of them before or after.
Now I really want to go down like a Well, I looked up stump and it just showed me a tree
it's in
stump.
the chat. If you click, oh well,
It wouldn't let me. Stump. We're an Irish indie experimental rock group.
And Charlton Heston put his vest on.
Let me try to find it on YouTube.
Oh, it's in the chat room if you want it.
For some reason, it won't let me click it. So let me just look up Stump. Is it just called Charlton Heston?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, we're gonna get demonetized today. That's okay. It's worth. What the heck? Okay. At some point, I need to do the YouTube Premium thing. That would be worthwhile.
I did that.
I did?
Yeah.
It's kind of worth it to skip ads, right?
I almost exclusively only watch YouTube.
Yeah. I like that. Okay.
I pay a little under $700 a week for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, out of your $1 million net worth, or sorry, that's way undervaluing your net worth.
That's Kleenex budget.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, ready, guys? Here we go. This is called. This is bizarre.
It's very weird. And I saw this on MTV once, and it's stuck in my head.
I'm gonna take off my obnoxious through there. You know what's weird? This is really familiar now.
The Pharaoh glowed with satisfaction, but then to his immense surprise, his empire fell before his eyes. 100,000 busy slaves down their tools and stood and stared. The Red Sea walls looked like a canyon.
The other thing I like is it keeps showing the guy leaning forward. The guy in the guitar keeps
Sorry, it keeps showing what?
The guy in the guitar keep leaning forward.
It's yeah.
Weird. Let's keep playing it.
I'm kind of digging the
Yeah, wait till it says, and Charlton Heston put his.
All within those walls of glass, I heard of whales go racing past. 100,000 fishy tails crossed his mind about the day.
This is the strangest.
That Charlton Heston put his vest on.
That was enlightening and interesting. That was, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into.
I figured it out.
Jim TV.
And Charlton Heston put his vest on.
Denny did. Then Charlton Heston.
Then Charlton Heston put his vest on.
I feel like, Jim, we should do a cover band that just does songs like that. Where you're like, this is really gonna tear the roof off the house. Are you guys ready? This is Charlton Heston. Thank you.
The cat loves it.
That's kind of a bizarre band. I'm curious.
I saw
how did that
once.
happen?
It was like a car crash. I saw it once, and it just stuck in my head forever.
So you'd just be like driving to work,
and I remember
like Charlton Heston. What is it?
So they loop the band reactions.
Yeah,
it's the same band reactions through the whole song. The players.
Yeah,
and I just remember the bass player. It's this weird thing where he goes like that. He leans in every time. And it's just so weird. And the guy's going.
Yeah. It always, I will play guitar a little higher than I used to in the 90s. But the guy who plays the bass up here, I never understood that. It might be just the 90s in me where I'm just I can't do that.
No, it's equally as bad when they play it down on the floor.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Chris Novoselic,
Yeah, although I was in bands in the 90s and we used to play low.
Yeah.
You just would, and then now I play a reasonable player because that's so
funny,
dumb. And you lose so much. It's harder to.
Well, you can't play without some sort of distortion.
Yeah,
because I have a feeling when you're playing that low, the notes sound like this.
Yep. Exactly.
Because your hand is like,
Yeah.
but
Oh, I forgot to mention for punk rock guitars, my favorite guitarist is Ian MacKaye, which is not a surprise to anyone.
You know who my favorite punk rock guitarist is?
Who's that?
Charlton Heston put his vest on. No, it's
They are pretty legit.
Kevin Cross is my favorite punk rock guitarist.
Kevin Cross is so good, actually, honestly. A lot of people may not even realize like how freaking legit and good he was and is. But yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
So
he's the guy who changed my opinion of Les Pauls. I used to make fun of people who played Les Pauls.
Really?
Yes.
That's a weird thing to make fun of.
It's back when we used to gig, because all the guys who played Les Pauls were usually in like hair bands and stuff, and we were like doing like indie rock, so we were like, we're Fender kids. Except back then we were even snobby about playing Squires, because we were like, we're not rich kids with their Fenders.
When St. Jimmy Page plays a Les Paul.
Oh yeah, and since then it's so funny, because I was like really into Sunny Day Real Estate, and it's like they play, and again, like my favorite, punk guitarist, Ian MacKaye, plays like an SG. It's like, yeah, there's nothing.
when I was a boy, when I was a little boy,
when I was a wee
lad,
back when Charlton Heston put his fist on.
I was a drum fan. I wanted to be a drummer when I was a kid.
You know what's funny? I was very similar.
Yeah.
In fact, why I ended up playing guitar, my friend and I were both looking at a Sears catalog late at night, because this is back in the day when Sears catalog was where you ordered stuff, because there was no internet. And we last minute swapped. So I was going to order a drum set, and he was going to order a guitar. And then he was like, I kind of want to do drums. And I'm like, I kind of want to do guitar. And we swapped.
You know why I started playing guitar? Because they're everywhere.
Yep, and they're cheap. That was the main thing for me too. I looked at the cost of the drums, and I was like, maybe I'll do guitar.
You can't really have a drum set in an apartment.
Oh yeah.
So back in the day. So plus, again,
I mean, you could. You just probably wouldn't be in that apartment for a long time, or you'd have neighbors that want to murder you.
Or if your apartment was in the middle of a steel mill.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That would be great. Although I feel like if your apartment's in the middle of a steel mill, you should just, get out and dance in the mill. Just be free and dance. Don't let.
Just do good. I'm gonna learn. Oh wait, that is Maniac. I'm an expert at. You'll learn. I'm an expert at figuring these songs out.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
And I just don't know what I'm playing. So I'm gonna pretty much wrap up.
I love it.
But before I do, this is the episode that needed to happen. Except I'm gonna do in the daytime. Next time you do a daytime one, bring your guitar.
Yes.
And doodle around and have fun.
Yes.
I want to.
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. 100%.
And play.
I'll try to figure out Oh, I think you need to end us out with a Bretvian kind of traditional Bretvian song.
Hold on. What's the first note of it? It's John Henry Unicorn.
Oh yeah. Weather won't. I actually need to. I was gonna cover that. I had learned it.
These are the chords.
Henry Unicorn suffered since the day he born.
or is it up here? John Henry Unicorn.
Yep, there it is. Days born, something weather worn, and the unicorn is love. And the way you sang that is very much in the.
We'll do a duet.
And weather
And the hobbit's name is Love. Hobbit's
name is love.
John Henry put his vest on.
That's awesome. Congrats again on the 335. Now I'm really curious about Firefly because at that price it's so hard to like. What? It's so pretty. Yeah.
It has a personality too.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for my country music career now.
I'm also really excited to hear what cartoons that is going to appear on the soundtrack for.
Well, it'll make its way to the Full Fungus. It just won't be in a jazz song, probably.
Yeah.
Unless my brother Steve plays something jazzy on it. He's really good.
Well, because the Full Fungus isn't just going to be jazz, right? Like that's mostly the fungus stuff, and then like the intercut stuff is going to have more of that like Lujan vibe, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it all kind of fits in a jazzy spectrum, though. But yeah, it's not avant-garde. Not all of it. Just the mink fungus stuff's very advanced, Josh.
Yeah. It is. It's like I didn't really get it, and then I think on the 40th listen, when I played the record backwards.
Well, I created the music, and I still don't get it, but I'm getting there. I'm understanding it.
It unlocks a bit. Yeah,
it has to reveal itself to you. So,
by
the way, your hometown, your ex hometown.
I love Powell's. That's a great store. That's one of the best ever stores. And they had a great graphic novel section too, which is insane. Like right by the coffee, which is perfect. Yeah, I miss that place.
Shout out to the Glendale Central Library. They have a giant graphic novel section.
Oh, no way.
And they just did like a $6 million reboot to the whole library. And it's like this, it's a library out of Star Wars now. It's huge. The ceilings are like 3 stories tall.
Oh, it's crazy. I'll have to check that out.
They have basically a comic book store within there with all of the graphic novels and manga and stuff like that.
That's great, though. I mean, that's
don't get me started on the hentai.
You're like, that section was big, but it's all checked out.
I'm pretty sure that section's huge, but I was removed the way through, and I can't go back. Let's just leave it at that.
Let's just put it this way. Jim's net worth was huge until the library late fees on the hentai.
Worth every penny. So,
didn't the Galleria just like have a comic shop open there?
Who did that? I don't know.
I saw on like Jim Lee's Instagram or something like that. He was at like the opening for a new comic shop that's in the Galleria. Which I was like, that's great. A comic shop in a mall. Like, I don't know if I've seen that.
Well, Josh, now that I've taught you the John Henry unicorn theme, I want to hear a cover version on your hummingbird.
Okay, I'll try to busk away and do that. I like that.
Okay. So I did my due diligence. Next time, your guitar. I show you mine. You show me yours.
I love it. We'll do that. We'll do the exchange. All right.
Stay on, everybody. Josh isn't going to hang up yet. He's going to actually do artwork now.
Yes. Jim, where can people find you and all that stuff and follow the progress of your amazing epic? Honestly, it does seem like everything you show from it, I'm like, this looks like one of the most ambitious things I think I've seen you do. But
it is. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. And they say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I'm pacing my bite so that I don't throw up.
nice.
But I'm having fun. I'm still at the point where I'm always having fun doing it. I'll tell you this, I'm about a third of the way through, and I know
That's
I want
pretty
to
good.
release it May or spring. So if I don't make that deadline, I don't make it. But if I do, I do. But that's about where I'm at right now. And like I said, I'm having fun doing it. There's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, it looks crazy ambitious, but you guys can follow that on Jim's YouTube, and he does Hey Man, how's your movie going?
Yeah.
Which is a great show, and I recommend you guys check that out.
Thank you. I'll be doing one of those every one a month probably, because now that I'm in the second half of production, kind of.
I dig it. And like the next 3 will be Jim with his 335, just being like, animations.
I know Psycho Killer, John Henry Unicorn, and Charlton Heston.
Charlton Heston is going to be a highly requested song. I am glad you introduced me to that, because that is now going to be my new, like, if I'm messing with somebody and I'm like, okay, you want a deep cut, like classic.
Charlton Heston put his vest on. All right.
That's a very strange song. All right, guys, thank Jim Lujan for introducing you to Stump. And really do check out
Stumptown.
There you go. I wonder if they were from Portland. They kind of sounded like they might be.
They're Irish, though, weren't they?
Yeah, but they must have lived in Portland for a second.
All I know is that they're going to put their vests on, as you should too.
That's true. Yeah.
So, all right, Josh, have a good night.
All right, thanks, Jim, for stopping by. And that's awesome. All right, we'll see you later, Jim.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. That was cool. That was Jim Lujan. What a great time. We're about an hour in. I'm probably going to get like an hour or so of comic work done now. But what we're going to do is, in honor of Mr. Lujan, we're going to play a trailer made by Jim Lujan, and then we're actually going to get to some art stuff. But thanks for hanging out while we geeked out about guitar stuff. And it was neat to see that 335, because I was telling Jim I wanted to kind of hear it because I've heard really good things about those Fireflies. Okay, here is Kids Say Kemble by Jim Lujan.
Now, George, you can't say the craziest thing.
So, little Susie, do you have any brothers or sisters? I understand you're in 3rd grade. How do you like that? Do you like your teacher? You like to do a lot of fun things at school? You got any hobbies, Susie? Any things you like to do when you're not in school? I hear you like to read.
Well, right now I'm reading 2 stories written and illustrated by Joshua Kemble. It grapples with faith and mental illness. It's ultimately a story about redemption. It's a savage piece of writing. Also, I just finished up Jacob's Apartment, another one by Kemble. Jacob's Apartment weaves together elements of spiritualism and relationship dynamics, as well as atheism, and all the while it deals with abandonment and loyalty. It's a fierce, fierce read.
Do you like ponies?
All right, guys, we passed our due diligence having Mr. Lujan on the triple episode, triple threes. And now what we're going to do is get to working on comics. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the stream. We're going to be working on Not Death But Love, the strange supernatural story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And we're going to be working on the roughs for page 93. And honestly, I goofed off a little bit today with Jim, so I've lost a little bit of productivity, but that's all worth it, honestly. That all goes to feed the beast and feed the interest in kind of keeping on a long-term project. So we may not get all the way through the rough, we'll see, but we'll at least get the thumbnails and the list going. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the process, when I'm working on a comic page from a script, like I am here, I will look at the page of the script, and then I'll take like that and break it down into sections for each. Let's get that kind of corrected too. Sorry about that. I'll break it down into like little notes, like a little list of what we need to see, and then from there we'll kind of do thumbnails. So, anyhow, I'd love to hear also if you're watching what your projects are and what you guys are working on, and we'll just dive right in. So I have my references. These are the previous 2 pages. Well, not the previous 2 pages. This is the previous page, and then this is like 2 or 3 pages before, showing the location, which is going to be really helpful. That establishing shot, just so I can kind of keep in the headspace of where we're going to be. I know there's a carriage, so I've pulled a couple references of Victorian era carriages, just so that when it gets to that, that shouldn't be an issue. And then there's going to be some interesting things in this section of the script to kind of work out. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do that. And I think I'll pull up my obnoxious logo after, so you guys can at least see the section of script that we're breaking down. So the script is right down there. Right here is where I'm working on my Wacom, and then up here is my ugly face. And then right there is where my Photoshop file. And all I do when I'm working on roughs is I have kind of like a preset template, and I just kind of pull a copy of the previous template and so on. So we should be good to go. Okay. Let me see here. All right. So page 93. So in the past page, we had Mr. Home, who's like he's like a seance guy from the Victorian era. He has done a he's at the Reimer's villa, and he's doing like a seance. And then after the seance, so Sophie's husband is pretty bored at the seance. His name's David, and he's an interesting character to kind of draw. But he's gotten bored at the seance. And then we flash forward to Sophie. On the last page is basically saying that Dave, basically Home kind of appears like she's checking a mirror from her, like a little compact from her purse outside of the door. And then let's actually see if I can show you guys that. Anyhow, so then Home kind of appears and kind of mysteriously scares her a little bit. And she's basically saying I'm having some trouble with our carriage, or sorry, he basically says, "Where's your husband?" And she says he's having some trouble with our carriage. He's gone to see about it. And then she's looking at him and saying, "I'd like to ask you a question." Home removes his hat, right, and says, "I'm at your service." And then Sophie says, "I've been wondering, how do you do it?" And then Home says, "To what do you refer, madame?" And this is the last page that we finished roughs for. And then Sophie says, "How do you make them believe in what you do?" So now we're going to do this page. So the first part, again, we're going to make our list first. So I'll just make this say list. Okay. And then I can delete some of the stuff from the previous pages that I don't need. Okay. So the list is going to be breaking down this page. So let's read it and then break it down. So with an air of menace, Home leans uncomfortably close to Sophie. So 1, he smiles, but it is a cold smile. I think that can actually be 2, like 1 panel. So Home leans to Sophie, and then smiling menacingly. So that's 1 panel. 2 is she recoils, pulling the shawl tighter around her. So this is S, recoils. pulling shawl. So the first one's going to be like Home leaning in. Second one's going to be Sophie leaning away from him, kind of recoiling and pulling her shawl tighter. And then I think that we're going to have Home is saying, I have been called a cheat, but I have the feeling I am in the presence of a greater talent. So this is going to be 3. We're going to do, you know what? I think we can condense that H and S text. I think we can actually have that text. So as he's leaning towards her, right, he'll be saying, I've been called a cheat, but I have the feeling I'm in a presence of greater talent. And then she'll be recoiling, saying, Mr. Home, you take liberty with me. I thought you were a gentleman. So that's all condensed into 2 panels, which is helpful because there's a lot of actions coming later that are going to be harder to kind of condense. So then it's Home draws back from her. Okay, so that's going to be 3. H draws back from Sophie. And we got somebody on Twitch saying, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer a promotion of your channel. Oh, no. So we got some... I always like to read the spam messages, but Reticentinum on Twitch is asking me to go to Steamrise Rue, which apparently will just... Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how that happens during live streams. But I don't have like a ton of followers on Twitch, nor do I have a mod on Twitch. So I get a lot more of that kind of spammy nonsense. Okay, let's see here. What do we got? Okay, we're on panel 4. So now we're going to have a carriage pulls up. So I think 3 is going to have to be a shot that's far away, and then we can have the carriage pull up in front. And then it's got David inside. D inside. 5. Shot from other side. Because I'm thinking this will be like facing her. Like facing... She'll be facing the panel. And like the front of her. Home will be kind of standing next to her. And it'll be like kind of a wide shot with the building in the background, but we see a little bit of the patio or whatever in front. Not the patio, but like the paving or stones or whatever. And then we're going to have the next panel is actually going to be that same shot, but now there's a carriage in front with an indication of David. For number 5, it's going to be a shot from the other side. And we're going to have the driver opening door for Sophie. So that's going to be like what I pulled that reference for. That was just like a nice view of a driver opening a door. So yeah, so we're going to basically do that, but obviously the driver won't still be in the carriage. And then we'll have David kind of chilling in there. And actually here, maybe we'll have Home in foreground. And he's going to be saying text. So... Okay, I think we've got it kind of broken down for what we need. So that gives me a textual idea of what I'm going to do so that I'm not wasting my time when I'm thumbnailing. And we're probably going to go till, I think, like midnight tonight. And then we're going to call it because I do have to be up early for work tomorrow. But like I said, maybe we can at least get the thumbnail done. And I think we had fun. We had Jim on. He played some really cool music. It's always fun hanging out with Jim. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't enjoy a Lujan episode? So, okay, this is going to be called Thumb. And we're going to just start sketching. So what I want to do here as I'm drawing this is I think I want to pull the last page up here just so I can see that last panel. Or honestly, I might want to see this panel in particular, like the third panel. So, okay, we've got Home kind of leaning towards her, smiling menacingly. Okay. So let's go back to our thumb and let's just kind of sketch this out. And again, this is a thumbnail, so first one's going to be Home kind of leaning menacingly. Okay. So we're going to have Home kind of leaning in menacingly. I've said that like 50 times. And this is just a thumb, so I think, Okay, so that'll be something like Home there. And he's going to be kind of leaning forward. Just want like a vampire lean or something. You know what? Let's do him kind of hovering. And again, this is the thumbnail, so it's good to stay nice and loose with it. I want him more at an arch. There we go. And then maybe here he's still holding his hat because we still have him holding his hat. But I like the idea of maybe even the hat's at an angle, just to kind of keep that movement, like he's leaning forward menacingly. I got to figure out what to do with his other hand too. And let's see I want to see the previous pose that he was in. Yeah, okay. So that's, his hand was kind of up. And he's leaning uncomfortably close to Sophie. So I think maybe I'll have both his hands on his hat. Okay. So then he's going to be next to Sophie. And again, this is just a thumbnail. So you want to be nice and loose with this. Because again, this will just be the base that we do the rough over. And then Sophie is here. Okay. I do want to see that previous one just to know. Okay, there she is. I actually think this could all be one panel. So then, like, maybe Sophie. You know what? No, it needs to be 2 because I feel like. Actually, no. I think this could be 1 because I feel like if we separate this into too many panels, we're going to be missing kind of the stuff. So she's holding her shawl like this. So I like the idea that maybe her hands will be up here holding her shawl. Just kind of a little closer. And then we'll have like the kind of backing and the little thing here. This can be, again, the shawl is here, but now the shawl is kind of going to be covering her up a little more. And then she's leaning away. And again, it's a thumb. So, but I like that. I like that actually quite a bit. So this is going to be him saying, I've been called a cheat, but I have a feeling I'm in the presence of a greater talent. And that can be all up here, right? And then we can have her saying, Mr. Home, you take a liberty with me. I thought you were a gentleman. I'm trying to, that's a lot of text on her part too. So I want to make sure we kind of have that working. So, okay. And then I think we've got like a rough idea of this. And this can be like quite a, trying to see if like maybe there's a way to crop it a little tighter. So we've gone through that and kind of worked out a version that's going to be like basically combining 1 and 2. And now we're going to do our home draws back from her. Trying to think of a way to like fill the space here. So we only have 3 panels left. I'm actually kind of digging this, like a wide shot. I almost feel like maybe a way to make this work would be to kind of have all this going. Tilt it a little more. And then we've got like a little more space. Okay, so then we could have like the this is the doorway or whatever with the there's like brickwork there. And similarly, this is like the kind of more circular door. So I am really excited to kind of start messing around with that hummingbird. And again, like the nice thing about an acoustic, it takes a little bit of time to open up. So I got to play it, kind of open it up. But I'm very excited about what a cool thing to be able to have, Okay. So now we've got her drawing back from. Okay, now it's going to be home drawing back from Sophie. And I wanted that to be kind of a wide shot so that we can have the carriage pull up next. So that actually works. So this will be home. Home's drawing back from her, so Now we've got home kind of here. So we'll have home kind of drawing back from her. So now he's sort of going to be, and maybe I'll have him placing his hat back on his head. Actually, I think that actually works. And his legs kind of, how's it going, Paul? Mr. Pate, how you doing? We had Lujan on earlier today. We talked a lot of guitar nonsense. So that's going to be him kind of pulling away from her. And I think here maybe she'll be almost kind of like the idea of like her kind of pressing her skirt, weirdly enough. This will be like Sophie sort of there, and that'll be again just this is a thumb, so who cares? Not like who cares, but like I gotta keep it kind of loose and wobbly and free. So this will be that that doorway, right? We got like the doorway. I know there's like a it's like a window of some kind. There's a floor. So, okay. So that's going to be that shot. And then the next will be basically the carriage kind of pulling in front of them, which is where this little reference is going to be brilliant to have. So we're just going to have this carriage kind of pulling right in front. You know what? Let's just draw it over. So we'll have the carriage right here. Again, this is a thumbnail, so carriage comes, right? That's going to be having like a carriage driver here. And again, this will be like the interior. And the, let's see here, the driver will be here. Doorway kind of thing. Coming back. This will be the wheel. And again, like thumbnails are for me. Roughs will be for the client and for, you know, other folks. But thumbnails are just me working it out super loosely. In fact, honestly, I'm kind of overworking these right now. So that's going to be the carriage kind of pulling up. Okay, so we got our carriage. That's going to pull up there, and then we're going to have our... Paul said, I was just awakened from a dream. He said, in the dream, I was Taylor Swift's dad. She was home from her tour. All her stuff was in my kitchen. It was a lot of stuff. That's a funny dream. Okay. It's actually a really funny dream. Okay, so this is going to be now the shot of from the other side, which is what we needed that kind of for. And that's just going to give us a rough idea of what that's going to look like. So if we're on the other side of this carriage, Okay. So that'll be the carriage driver won't be there, but Eckley will be there. Home is on her left, so from this angle he'll be on the right, which is perfect. Okay, cool. Got it. Okay, so this is going to be carriage door. We're going to have a driver here, kind of opening it, similar to our little reference here. Driver's going to have his hat. And we're going to have Eckley here. Eckley's going to be getting in the carriage. In here, we're going to have our David, who's going to be sitting in the carriage or whatever. So then we'll have this sort of sitting there. We'll have kind of our carriage top. There's no carriage driver in this because she wanted the driver to actually be the person opening the door. So there will be no carriage driver. And then we'll have our horses or whatever, which will be here and here. Nice. Paul was saying if you squint, that carriage looks like a Hummer. That is funny. And we're going to do this just a little bit smaller so that we can have here, like this will be, again, we'll see like a little bit of the steps or whatever. We're going to have our sort of wheels here. Carriage driver. And then our top of our carriage. And then we're going to have home here. And home's going to be saying, Miss Eckley. Home's going to have his hat on. Maybe he doesn't need to be as big. Let's retry that. But I think him being kind of here with his top hat or whatever, and then he's gonna have his crazy home hair. It's trying to kind of work out the styling here. And that'll be him saying like Miss Eckley. Okay. I think we finished our thumbnail. So we might call it. I am in a good position to finish the rough, but again, I will probably have to finish the rest of this tomorrow, but we got a good start. We got our thumbnail, we got our lists. Everything's kind of good to go. So, yeah, I think we might kind of call it. So I appreciate everybody who's been watching this. If you haven't yet, hit the like button, hit the bell so you get notifications when we're about to go live. We finished the thumbnail and we did some hanging out with Jim Lujan, showing off guitars and talking music and stuff, which was awesome. And we learned about some interesting stuff. So, including Stump, which is Charlton Heston, which is a interesting song. But anyhow, so thanks guys for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. If you haven't yet, hit that bell and the like button. And I will see you guys on the next live stream. I'll hopefully live stream tomorrow a little earlier. And maybe I'll be able to play some guitar on there and stuff, as well as get further and finish this rough. See you guys on the next live stream. I appreciate you guys, and that'll do it for 333. Goodbye.